Chapter 938. Shh. It's her secret. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of the Podcast. I'm here. I'm queer. I'm the best guy ever. And we're joined, as always, by Hypocrite.
I'm great, I'm straight, and I'm also here.
Well, that's just great to hear. We're a real dynamic duo, a real contrast between us.
Yeah.
And today, speaking of being gay, chapter 938, Her Secret, which to me sounds like a feminine hygiene product commercial. Ooh, it's her secret, how she deals with her massive pulsating flows from her vagina once a month. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you were going to say something else. Her massive pulsating member. Oh. As they all have. Did you know women who like take not STDs, fucking take
sports
STDs.
They take STDs. Women who take a testosterone, that's what I was looking for like muscle building or if they're like lifters or whatever, they can get huge enlarged clits that can look like very small penises. Are you aware of this fact?
No.
Yeah. Now you know. Now you can Google it, ladies and gentlemen. You can Google it.
Please Google it, everybody. And now on to our One Piece review chapter show.
Indeed. So let's start with the cover page, which I love, which is Chopper giving these lovely birds a dust bath or a sand bath or something.
You said Chopper, you mean Crocodile.
God damn it, I meant Croco Boy. Yes, Crocodile.
I
Great
mean,
character.
they have the same energy of cuteness right here.
I think he's pretty kawaii, especially now that Crocodile, relatively speaking, compared to like the other characters we're up against, like Luffy would like destroy Crocodile at this point because he's gotten so much stronger and shit.
Yeah,
he almost seems cute and quaint, you know?
He's just an old uncle. He's like an angry uncle who just like, yeah, whatever. I'll let the birds splash in me. I'll hold an umbrella for a dog. That's all he's been doing. The last, like, 3 or 4 of these he's been on.
This is his life now.
He's just been a good boy.
Yeah, I mean, that's what getting beat up by Luffy seems to generally do. It makes you a good person, for the most part. I guess that's just shonen protagonist beat-up syndrome. Either that, or you become irrelevant to the story like Arlong, and we just never see him again. But whatever. Anyway, moving on to the main chapter. So when we last left our heroes, Zoro had just made his blades fully black.
Yes.
.com.
Oh,
and sliced the boy.
I want to first. I saw a lot of the comments last time were making fun of us for not knowing about Zoro using haki yet.
I looked that up again, and yeah, there's many examples.
There's many examples of him using slicing haki in the battle with Pika. Which
yes,
I should have remembered. I just wasn't really paying attention to that when I
was the fact that Zoro was using haki even particularly relevant to that fight? So
no, the whole thing was Zoro using haki and making his blades black. It's clearer in the anime from what I understand, and in the manga, I could barely tell because it's not drawn attention to. It's just sort of like a visual flair. You may not even realize that the swords are literally black. You may think they just sort of, you know, like, oh, it's a cool visual flourish. Or that it's like it's black and white, so like is it just normally colored like that? I didn't really notice it. So like as a manga exclusive reader, I have that excuse. But him slashing Pika was very obvious because Pika was like fully blacked up, as they say.
Wait, that's not true.
He was actually I had.
Wait, hang on. Do you mean when he cut like the big giant stone thing, or when he cut like Pika at the end, or whatever?
Pika at the end. I think.
Was Pika fully blacked up? Was he really like Virgo-ified?
Yeah. I put a screen grab of the page.
Oh shit!
It's chapter 778. What was it called? Tactics number 5. And right at the end, there's Pika all shiny, and Zoro with his black blades.
Oh shit! You're right. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I didn't even fucking remember that. And yeah, we can clearly see he's got black old blades going on. So yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah.
Although, you know what I did? I went and watched the, specifically because this fight came up, I heard people talking about that. I went and looked up the moment where he cuts, like, the giant city, like, version of Pika when he's, you know, controlling, like, a giant mountain.
That is just stone, I think.
Well, it is just stone. But I noticed at that moment, at least in the anime, you know, I didn't check the manga, but in the anime, he does, in fact, cover his blades in haki. And I was just wondering, So it doesn't appear, and I would doubt that Haki is, or that Pika is able to cover this entire stone, gigantic city-sized statue in Haki. So, okay, so it's probably just stone that's moving. It's just really big. And I'm wondering, like, yeah, we've seen guys like Virgo have, like, instilled, like, his bamboo staff with Haki, and that appeals to, like, I don't know, does it kind of just, like, in an RPG sense, like, up the damage? Because I'm wondering, we've really seen that armament Haki specifically has been explained to us to be a defensive technique more than anything else. And then also, like, when it's Haki versus Haki, in something like that, you know, it might make sense that Haki helps you, like, overcome the other person's Haki. You have to break through their barrier with yours or something. I'm wondering, because, like, we definitely don't see Law use Haki when he cut through, like, Virgo, but we assume that was, like, Devil Fruit shenanigans in some capacity. But, like, specifically when Zoro was cutting just the giant stone Pika, it would not, you know, not Pika himself, but, like, just his giant stone thing, and he was using Haki, it just makes me wonder, does that actually provide any benefit in that situation to a slashing technique like that?
You know
what I mean?
It's hard to say because you would think armament Haki makes it tougher, and therefore, if you hit something with your sword is less likely to break. But
what about sharpness, though, and, like, cutting power?
it was like, it was you didn't literally touch, like, metal to stone. He did one of those famous, I slash so hard that the wind slices you in half sort of things. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just, like, it's just stronger. It's just like a Kaioken sort of thing.
I mean, I suppose it must be, because I'm thinking back to, like, the Katakuri fight and all that stuff, and, like, we know that Katakuri, just for example, like, he fights with his fists mostly, once he throws away Mogura or whatever, he's using his fists mostly to, like, fight Luffy, and, like, so with Luffy, it makes sense to use Haki, really, even if there's no buff, because we know for a fact that one of the things Haki can do is let you hit Devil Fruit users that otherwise would be protected by their fruit, and Luffy is one of those people as a rubber man. So if you're a punchy kind of guy like Katakuri mostly is, then you're gonna need something to let you cut through a defense like Luffy has with his rubbery body. So Haki is perfectly appropriate for something like that. But it makes me wonder about, like, when Luffy, on his side, is covering his arms in Haki to punch Katakuri, like, Katakuri's Devil Fruit is not an always-on paramecia like Luffy's, so he doesn't have any, like, you know, like, tangible benefit most of the time, unless he uses his observation Haki specifically to dodge. So it's different from Luffy's situation. So, like, in that situation, is Luffy actually getting a benefit from using Haki? I guess it's just, we're going in circles a little bit. Is there, I guess I'm just going to believe that there's just some sort of general attack up buff when you're using Haki, in addition to defense up.
It'd be easier to just think of it as, like, attack and defense up, like a Pokemon move. It just does that. Yeah. So, like, if you get hit, you're fine, but it also just makes hits harder. Like, instead of a rubbery punch, I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, rubber, like his fist moving really fast. That feels like a whip crack almost. But you know, that's what it sounds like in the anime sometimes. But I don't really know whether that's, like, literally what is, like, does it feel like skin? Or
are you saying that, like, Luffy's punches, like, he's using in fact a rubber fist? So would that, like,
and if it's armament, would it be, like, more like a rock fist, but also with the power of stretchiness? Like, could be.
That's a fair question, but what about someone like, I mean, while we're getting into it, how about, like, you know, Black Arm Z or whatever, like, from the movies, whose thing was that he would use Haki on his arms and just turn them black. And, well, sure, that'll let him. Yeah, well, okay, but it's still generally canon. Yeah. But even putting that aside, like, I mean, Katakuri, just for example, like, he uses Haki on his arms, that's true, but he also has a specific technique where he hardens his hands with his Devil Fruit and turns it into, like, hard mochi or whatever. So, like, you'd think that, like, you know, Haki would theoretically be just, like, way more than just hardening your arms with Haki, but turning it into hard mochi is an additional thing he does. So, like, maybe they're additive, I guess. I don't know.
I'm sure there's no hard and fast rules necessarily.
Yeah, I think
it's just sort of like, it's harder, therefore it is stronger and hits hard. Like, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a buff. I don't think it was ever thought of as a thing that could be, like scientifically analyzed to have like a number associated with what it does.
Well,
you know
I mean, that's all well and good. But, like, I mean, frankly speaking, I stand by. I don't think anything has been introduced in the series to imply that, like, if you're a swordsman, applying hockey to your blades will allow you to cut anything any better. Though it might perhaps keep your blades from breaking while you're cutting something, because it makes them harder. So, like, until it has not been stated anywhere that, you know, is not the case. So, like, you know, what would, for example, what was the benefit of Zoro using his blades covered in hockey in that last panel of last chapter, with this, other than potentially cutting through the hockey this man might have been using for defense? That seems to be the only benefit that we know for sure he would get.
I think, well, the fact is, Zoro himself doesn't know that he's doing it. Like, it's implied last chapter is like, Black Blade, I was wondering what that was. Because
I don't know about that.
Well, I could imagine Zoro is just as stupid, and he just doesn't...
But he trained with Mihawk. He's probably learned about hockey and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Well, I mean, we've not gotten any confirmation that Zoro does know, and I just... Yeah. I feel like... Well, he does this
other than him using it, I guess.
He does it unconsciously because he's just so strong.
Oh, you don't know that. You don't know that he's doing it unconsciously.
Well, I don't know that he's not doing it unconsciously.
I'm prepared to say that it's unconfirmed. It's possible he's using it unconsciously, but my guess would be that he learned from Mihawk.
But we both know that it looks fucking sick.
That is correct. And so, and on that note, speaking of looking sick, look at this guy writhing in agony like, ouch, I've been cut. What a bitch.
Yeah,
what
Kamazo has been dealt a powerful blow, job.
Indeed.
Thuds to the ground.
And all these women are like in awe of this incredible, powerful blow job that Zoro unleashed on this man. They've got Komurasaki, #1 prostitute in the world. She's got a lot to learn from this technique of giving a serious blow job to a man. Nice. Even fucking look at Gyukimaru. It's like, oh my god, where can I get one of these? Truly, you're a powerful warrior, Zoro to know. Oh my god, you can see the cock in his teeth at this. He's using some sort of weird cock on teeth technique. Now that's advanced stuff. I mean, look at Slayer Man. He looks euphoric in this moment. I think his cock exploded from sheer pleasure.
That'll have to be like the thumbnail of the episode. All of these faces, and then Zoro sucks dick or something. Zoro on the left there. Oh, there.
Damn, this guy's got a long ass dick, but I guess that's samurai for you. Powerful lads.
So he's down. Kamugazuga is down.
Yep.
No, confirmation on whether he was the samurai I was thinking of.
Yep, true.
He may just be nobody, but I feel like anybody introduced could potentially be cool. So
yeah, anybody.
He's
could
not
be.
dead.
I mean, he's not dead. He'll be back. I think.
Yeah. So little old weapon Steely here grabs
he does grab his weapon
and turns around.
Sorry. He does, but before that, so sorry, I should have waited till we were finished there. There's that one panel, I want to point this out, of Komurasaki, or whoever this mystery lady might be. She's going such strength, and also, notably, down below that, in Japanese, so you connoisseurs only will know this, because, excuse me, the Japanese box people did not translate this. You can see Doki Doki, little Doki Doki sound effect, and everyone knows Doki Doki is the onomatopoeia for a heartbeat, and generally it can be in a romantic sense. So this is just leading to, could this be some sort of romantic spark happening? Was a damsel in distress saved by the handsome Zoro?
Oh, shit. You know, I hadn't even considered the idea of Zoro ever getting, like, a girlfriend in One
I know,
Piece.
right? I'm just saying, keep it in mind, people.
In the samurai place with the land of swords, that seems like the perfect place for him.
Dude, he's had yellow fever like you wouldn't believe this whole journey, and finally he can get his pure Asian waifu that'll make him a real Asian boy.
But what about Tashigi? What about the lady?
Man, fuck Tashigi. Her plot doesn't even make sense. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. Also, she hasn't done anything interesting in a million years, so fuck her.
She's the same as the person who's dead.
Wow, what a great character. Yeah.
I feel like her thing has been strung along more than it feels like it should have been, but only because One Piece has gone on so long, and you can't really resolve that until the end.
I think if I was gonna say Naruto, if One Piece just was a series that was like, let's just say it was like 8 years long as opposed to 20 now, and that arc had been resolved, it probably would have been satisfying and like fine and good. But just by virtue of it going on, so like this is endgame stuff with Tashigi most likely, so he can't like finish that ahead of time. He's got to wait to the end. So we'll see how that all plays out in, I don't know, 10 years or whatever.
Yeah. So Zoro, he falls down on the ground. I don't know whether the scythe he got cut with was poisoned or whether it's just blood loss. I mean, yeah. Seems like it would be blood loss, but
could be.
He lost a lot more blood in that time when Kuma fucked him up, and he was just standing still, and I don't know. Do you think this is too easy for him to like lose consciousness?
I mean, he was fucking pierced through the body. I don't know. I'm thinking of that time. Remember, like, his first real fight when he was fighting Buggy, and he got basically stabbed through the kidney, and like kept on fighting for a while, and didn't pass out or anything like that. And in fact, that was right immediately after that. There was like that huge quote unquote like unmovable cage that Luffy was trapped in. That Zoro, this is one of his epic early moments. He picked the thing up when like no human should have been able to do that, and like carried it around with Luffy inside it for a while. So, yeah, he's looking a little bit like a bitch. Frankly, what this whole situation speaks to me of is Oda trying to get Zoro into a situation where he can, have like a wake up, be cared for moment by this sexy lady and kind of push like the connection between them. As opposed to like, considering Zoro's skill level, like, I don't know, like, sure, he was distracted by this guy, but like, narratively, in terms of power level, I think we're all pretty shocked to see Zoro being wounded here. Especially as, like, people are being like, this is Zoro's arc, this is his time. If he's getting wounded now, is he really going to be able to fight at 100%? God damn it.
Of course
he better be. I mean, I hope so.
The whole thing with Zoro is that you can slice his whole head off and he'll keep fighting for, like, 10 whole chapters. But I think... if the scythe guy was a samurai, then it would make more sense that he lost, even if the wound is the same. It just feels like it would make more sense.
It would feel more impactful. Like, if this guy's straight up a mook, and Zoro, like, got wounded in that way, I mean, we're gonna be... I mean, and again, he was fighting two people, he was distracted. You could almost call it, like, a joke hit. But, like, if there's... Remember, people, this is the funny thing about Zoro. Things like joke wounds and fights... Like, they'd work for Luffy, they'd work for Sanji, they work for, frankly, anybody else. Because the thing is, every other character in our crew has something else going for them, with the sole exception of Zoro. His one thing is that he's the fight boy. And frankly, it puts Oda in a tough spot when it comes to writing him, which is why Zoro... I think I was seeing stats online that Zoro, despite being the second Straw Hat introduced, has the 5th most panel time of all the Straw Hats. And I think it's because, like, there's just not a lot of room to do stuff with Zoro, necessarily. Like, because he's only got his one thing, and it's a fight thing. And other than that, so just to cuck him like this, like, does this bother me that much? Not really. Like, I know Oda's, he's doing a little bit of shenanigans. It's fine. For Zoro to get hurt once in a while, again, he's only human. Mistakes can be made. But I will say, like, narratively, it makes us kind of take him a little less seriously as a fighter. And you don't want to do that much with Zoro, because, again, it's his one and only thing. So you got to be careful with that, Oda.
It feels a little unfortunate, because, like, he's the fighter, he's the swordsman. Yeah. And it's not like he needs, like, another job in terms of, like, Sanji cooking and
first
all that.
mate, whatnot, stuff.
Well, yeah, first mate doesn't even really mean much.
That's not even an active role, really.
And it's not like he even has, like, a tenuous relationship with any of the other crew members. He's just sort of cool with all of them. Like that. I can't imagine a time. Maybe it could happen where Zoro is just sort of like, yeah, fuck the Straw Hats, I'm out. Because, like, he seems like the sort of flippant person who could leave on a whim.
If any
but he
of
also
them.
Seems like the sort of person who would be loyal to the guy he thinks could be the king of the pirates, which is always going to be
That's
Luffy.
the thing. I think Zoro, like, if for whatever reason he detected weakness, or, like, I mean, Zoro's got his own shit, and I think that all the best relationships in real life, as a matter of fact, are built on like consensual relationships, built on like people who bring something to the table each. And you know, Zoro only joined this thing because like he was still able to pursue his dream of becoming the greatest swordsman in the world. If for whatever reason that was no longer the case, or like even if theoretically it worked out that Zoro like died in pursuit of that, or like it didn't happen that way, like that'd be one thing if it just happened that way while Luffy was trying to make it happen. But like if Luffy said like, hey, I don't really feel like being Pirate King anymore, so I'm just gonna like chill and like hang out and like relax for the next like 10 years, that's when Zoro would be like, well, fuck this. I got shit to do. I'm out of here. But as long as Luffy continues to pursue this path, I think Zoro, you know, is happy to be there, and I think that's a large part of why he respects him. I mean, that's always in what Zoro says about Luffy. He respects him as his captain, he's his crew, and he's loyal to them. But like, I don't know. In general, in life, loyalty should only go up to a point of when it starts to like fuck up your life in a serious way. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a tricky balance, I guess. You want to be a flippin' asshole.
You know, I just realized something. Zoro, right? In terms of the dreams of the crew members, I think Zoro is like the most driven to his dream.
Absolutely.
But he's also the guy who has no sense of direction, which is a funny like comedy, like you know, whatever you call it.
Zoro's a man who works hard but doesn't necessarily work smart. When it comes to, I mean, I don't know. He does actually work pretty smart. He trains a lot and is lifting heavy weights and shit. But you know what I mean. Yeah.
I hope to see more of Zoro stuff rather than just fights. Just Zoro stuff. Like he's on his own at the moment. I think he should be involved with some major part of what is happening on his own, rather than like just being involved in a battle later.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is the thing about, you know, end game One Piece, the late game One Piece that we're in now. Remember in like early days, we'd see Zoro like swinging gigantic weights on the Sunny Go and stuff. Remember those? Yeah. And remember when like if you remember after Alabasta, Zoro got fucked up by Mr. One. Seriously fucked up and like barely survived and all that jazz. Learned how to cut steel and all that fun stuff. Oh, and someone corrected me. I'm sorry, I am an idiot. Zoro, this is a whole thing in Alabasta. That's when Zoro learned how to like throw his slashes in like a projectile fashion. Well, this was like a narrative part of that, and that was super dope, and I fucking loved it.
No, I think they were saying it was Skypiea where he learned to do that, didn't he?
Wait, what did I say?
You said Alabasta.
Oh, god damn it. Yeah, I meant to say Skypiea, yes, because he does it against like the other the priests and whatnot. Okay, but regardless of that, like in Alabasta, as one example, after he beats Mr. One and after like the fighting is resolved, like everyone's resting in bed and everyone's like, where's Zoro? I don't know. I'm sure he's fine. And we cut to outside the castle. We see Zoro like doing squats, his arms outstretched, a boulder on either of his arms, and he's thinking to himself like, oh, I need to be training right now. I need to be able to like consistently cut steel and like remember what that felt like, and I need to get even stronger in case I face more guys like that, like Mr. One. See, that is the real shit that people love to see like in a shonen. And the only problem is we've peaked. Like he's achieved every skill that you can achieve in a series like this, basically. And all that's left is like, I don't know, weird stuff like cutting fire like Kinemon, and I don't know, cutting even bigger, you know, stuff. Whatever. We've talked about this before. I'm just saying, like, the loss of that kind of stuff, you know, which is natural. It's just a progression of the story. You know, he's evolved and he's kind of mastered all that stuff now. There's not a lot to show when there's so many other factors happening in One Piece that we could choose to focus on. You know, it's just a little bit of, I guess, growing up. I don't know. Life getting a little more mundane and in like a routine. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I think people get my sentiment.
The sentiment I get. I don't think anything's getting more mundane. It's just,
well, like Zoro's life specifically.
We could imagine that he still lifts weights and does things like that and meditates.
But that's the thing. That's what I mean.
To put a panel to that is like you can't really afford that at this late stage. Well, every panel is important. Every panel needs to like further the story a little bit.
Any one panel, like at the end of an arc, any one panel, like literally, like half a panel where in the background you see Zoro like holding like an even bigger set of fucking weights on his sword, that could be good for a giggle, you know, just like as a one-off thing. But like I understand that like it's not that one thing, it's that every single character like is crowding for that little shout out, for that one little highlight. And so I know that like not everything can get that fair shake. And I mean, it's almost sad to say, but like, frankly, like Zoro's arc, you know, it's over. He's like this. He's basically the strongest samurai, and he kind of has been since the time skip. He's got haki now. He's got, I don't know, what else is left for him to obtain?
Clearly, I mean, I've been saying this for a while as well.
Yeah.
But this is the arc where he has his Katakuri moment.
He fucking better. I know I'm saying that almost like I doubt it. It will happen. And by the way, I'll just say that this whole thing with Zoro getting wounded here, don't forget, people, these are shonen protagonists who heal ungodly fast, and we've got something like 2 weeks until the final battle, like in the narrative of One Piece, which is more than enough time for a shonen character. Like, remember when Luffy got impaled by Crocodile and like fell in the sand and like died straight up? He was fully impaled all the way through. The next day, I believe it was literally the next day, it might have been 2 days, like, everyone thought Luffy was dead. This is a big thing, if you remember Alabasta. Like, Pell and Luffy show back up. Pell drops off Luffy, and Luffy, like, has healed enough to do his epic, like, 2 fights with Crocodile. And so they heal fast, is my point. Don't worry about it. He's going to be a ship shape, and Oda will give us the fight. I believe in him.
I feel like that thing with Luffy is more that he's made of rubber, and that's how he can heal first.
I disagree.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously in shonen that happens. Anyway, let's stop talking about cool stuff, and let's start talking about what's happening in the chapter.
Okay, so we go over, we see Inarashi, we see Kinemon and the Mink tribe, and they are a little peeved because the word's getting out that the mark of the crescent moon and their coded message they've been passing out, they're talking about a fucking revolution, about the Beta Uprising. And seems like somebody's leaking. Seems like somebody's
somehow
let the cat out of the bag.
Information. So this is like clarifying before.
Yep.
We weren't sure how obvious or secret this was, and it is a secret. Only people who know exactly what this is even know that the crescent tattoo on the ankle means something.
Right.
Now, people with the crescent tattoo are being spotted all over the place in the city and getting captured, and everything's going fucking not so good.
Oh, and that's true. And by the way, I just want to point out to everybody, you can see Carrot, you know, here hanging with the minks. I just like to point out to all the Carrot fags out there still holding the candle. Look at her. She gets one line. She's not even important in the scene. She's literally a background character among the minks in this general plan. Give it up, people who think that Carrot is going to join the crew. You are delusional if you still think that literal background character tier. Okay, I just wanted to shit on those people real quick. Let's move along.
Well, before we move along, I just want to shout out to that funny wolf man on the bottom left of the page.
I do like that guy.
He's very angry, but he's got a silly dog tongue coming out.
Very true. Did you see that really weird-looking tiger to his immediate left? You know, weird smile thing. Oh, and there's Action Giraffe in one of his many, you know, Hollywood appearances, right between the two, looking good in the background there.
Yeah.
Looking good, buddy. Congrats. Congrats on the role in One Piece. He's been dreaming about that for a long time. But anyway, moving along, let's go to the Flower Capital.
Yes, we see the Flower Capital's being rebuilt after the explosion, all the mayhem from before. And people, yes, are getting caught with the crescent ankle tattoo. Hawkins and Drake are just sort of standing around and being like, you hate girls, huh? And he's like, no.
No way, fag.
And then we go over to the Pleasure District, where we get,
oh, yeah.
What was his face? Kyoshiro.
Kyoshiro, that's the guy.
He's hanging out, just looking at all the people crying about Komurasaki's death. And they're saying, what are they saying?
He's just saying, this guy's saying, like, they're pretty peeved at you, Komurasaki. They're real upset. Oh, and they, I think that they're canceling the wake because too many people are freaking out. Now, I personally, this is some download deep secret lore, I suspect the wake is being canceled because Komurasaki's body ain't actually available. So this is an excuse that they're using to not show off the body or something like that. This is my theory, but
yeah,
I don't know. Just a guess.
It's pretty clear that's. Yeah. I mean, why would they mention that there was even a wake happening?
I mean, at this point,
a funeral would go without saying. You wouldn't need to mention it, but of course, if it's cancelled, it's like, ooh. Why?
Yes, it's a Chekhov's gun sort of thing, I guess. And Kyoshiro here, it's reopening an examination of Kyoshiro's character. So at this point, thinking back to it, Kyoshiro has done, if I remember correctly, literally nothing like in opposition of the rebellion, and has done exactly one thing, which is quite big, which is pretend to kill Komurasaki and actually secretly not, and most likely help her escape. So I'm thinking it's almost confirmed that he is in fact a good guy, probably working with the rebellion. Yeah. So that sounds clear cut.
I mean,
looks like that's the case.
Well, here's the thing though.
Also, right? He's holding the little thing here, but
he's holding the thing that he found. He picked that up and he's like, huh. He noticed that, and he saw.
Oh, he noticed that after he cut Komurasaki, didn't he?
Yeah, I forget whether he he reacted with surprise, just because it dropped, but we don't know whether he was surprised to see it because he knew what it was or not.
Yeah, it could have been either.
But if he did know what it was and he's like working with the rebellion, or he did know what it was and he's not working with the rebellion, he could be the reason the thing leaked. So like he's sort of like he potentially could be like I have no particular allegiance. I just help my friends.
I mean, he is an amoral, Yakuza guy, so fair. I can see that.
So, like, he could have pretended to kill Komurasaki, but also, just for no reason in particular, told the government about the Crescent Moon thing.
Yeah, possible. My money's on, him being a good boy. That's
I mean, yeah, ultimately, when, Luffy comes with his grandpa, it's like, oh, grandpa. But actually, this guy's so like I'm not so sure about him. He could be like, fuck you, Grandpa. I'll kill you. I don't like you.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what their relationship... You know what I think? Here's my prediction. I think that what's going to happen is effectively, like, Luffy's going to save old man Hyogoro, or whatever his name is. I think it's Hyogoro. And, Luffy's effectively going to take the old man to this guy Kyoshiro. Kyoshiro will see this man Hyogoro, whatever, and he'll be like, not only are you, in the rebellion, you have, like, saved this guy who, maybe he's, like, my literal dad, maybe he was just, like, a mentor or something, and because of that, I'm going to help you, like, recruit everybody to your side, and that's going to really, like, blow open the, the rebellion, getting lots of people to join their squad. This is my theory. Just a prediction.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe he'll literally hate the guy and it'll be like a clash or something. I don't know.
I mean, we know that like thinking too many twists and turns ahead of the curve is not always
generally
the right
a bad idea.
So like it's probably gonna go the way you're thinking.
Yeah. I learned my lesson with pudding. I won't do it again. I'm so embarrassed about that.
My only concern, well, not concern, it's just like passing thought, is like if all these people are now like. The Crescent Moon is like capturing all these rebellion people.
Yep.
What would like making people join the rebellion even mean at this point? I guess the people crying about Komurasaki would join in, but they don't necessarily look like fighters.
Well, there's something to be said for just having like literally everyone on your side. That can give some, logistical advantages, if nothing else. Yeah, I don't know. But I really think it's just like the more people that are on your side, the more likely that there will be strong people among those, and then you'll just get more people. Or I don't know, something like that.
If nothing else, if Yakuza man, if the Yakuza is on their side, then that's pretty cool.
And the other thing is, I would say that just like on a larger zooming out here towards the whole arc, like. Now that, just politically speaking, for a moment, if you think, like, Orochi's been in power for a very long time, for over 20 years now, so I'm sure there's a lot of people who are just, like, down with that, and I know Oda, whatever, One Piece doesn't generally talk about themes like this, but, like, a lot of people are just gonna, for the sake of convenience and, like, protecting their life, they'd probably be like, man, fuck this, we're on Orochi's side, because, like, even though Odin was, like, cool and all that, we don't care, leave us alone, so we're on his side, because, like, I want to protect my current, position or whatever. I would say, like, every single time that the Straw Hats, like, aid in one of these, like, rebellions, they always get the support of, like, the entire country on their side while doing so. And so, like, if they didn't do that, if they didn't get, like, literally everyone on their side, then, like, afterward, there could be, like, still fighting between people, and you wouldn't have the big kind of saccharine happy ending where, like, literally everyone's happy. Like, Doflamingo, like, blew that, but, like, Doflamingo probably could have been okay, except he literally tried to kill every single man, woman, and child in his country with the fucking birdcage, which is obviously ridiculous and all that, but whatever. So I think what all this stuff is building to, in addition to getting warriors on their side, is like the big happy ending of like the entire populace is celebrating that like the Odins are back, or the Kozuki family like rises back to power, and then we can get our big happy ending at the end where no one's like sad and everyone's happy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's just a theory.
Oh,
A gay theory. Yeah, we went in different. God, that meme. I'll give MatPat one thing. He made a hell of a meme with that little outro.
Two things. My firstborn son.
Yeah.
My secondborn son. Take him. Raise them as your own. I want my own MatPats.
That would be nice. I'd appreciate that, MatPat, if you would raise my son for me. But moving on, let's go to Ebisu Town and check in with Sanji and the gang.
Yeah. So I think we were saying last time. I recall.
Yes.
Sanji didn't get a lot of shit for seeing them naked. Well, now he has.
You know what? I gotta say, I appreciate. So we were all talking a little bit of shit. Good on you, Oda, for having Nami beat the shit out of Sanji the next chapter for, you know, peeping on them and whatnot. Fair. Even though he literally could have entered legally and no one could stop him. It's just fine, so relax, dude. I guess he was a wanted man and all that, but whatever. Larger point being, I appreciate the restraint that Nami showed by not literally punching Sanji, like, while they were escaping to, like, you know, endanger herself. Even though maybe it's just selfish, she didn't want to, like, bop him while they were running away. I'm like, good restraint, Nami, by waiting until you get back to your safe house and then being the shit at Sanji. That's just practical, and I respect you for that, Nami. Good job. Good job.
This face, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a Beano comic strip.
Yeah.
The Beano is like an old... It's like a cartoon comic thing from like the 1950s or something. It ran throughout my childhood. And there was this one artist who drew, I think it was Calamity James or something, which is just this guy called James who got into a lot. He was incredibly unlucky, and he always ended every comic strip by like something like an anvil falling on his face, and his face would look like this. It would be so bruised and bloodied and cartoonishly inflated with stuff.
Fantastic.
It just reminds me of that. If anybody knows Calamity James and the Beano, up.
Look in our chat.
There it is again.
What?
The one in chat.
Okay, yeah. So I just posted so this face is like exactly the same as if you remember people on Drum Island. Vivi and Usopp were hanging out, and Usopp was, I think, falling asleep and was, like, going to die. So Vivi punched him in the face 1,000,000 times to keep him awake so he would not die, and his face looked exactly like this, and it was hilarious, and it's just a little commentary. Don't you think my face is kind of swollen? Oh, it's hilarious. Because Vivi's a good girl. She's not generally too violent. She just had to do it literally to help him and keep him from dying. Oh, that's cute. I miss Vivi. She was nice. And she has no personality anymore. She's just a princess. But that's okay. I forgive her.
She's the same. She just hasn't had speaking lines or anything to do.
That very last chapter of Alabasta where Igaram has that nightmare where he dreams of Vivi saying, like, I'm going to be the pirate queen. And she's wearing, like, a hat. Oh, I think about that panel a lot. It was both extremely attractive and also was a very effective, like, character moment for Vivi, even though it literally was not her. It was someone else's dream about her. Oh, it was a great panel. I really like that. Okay, anyway. So Sanji's been beat up. Nami's mad at him, understandably so. And now all of a sudden, this is good, Shinobu is yelling at Law for his incompetent piece of shit crew that has been captured. And she's like, it was probably your fucking crew that told everyone our goddamn plan, which is a very big problem. Because secrecy is paramount.
It's a very big problem. And it's a very likely possibility. There's no one else they know who's been captured.
Yep.
And Law's sticking up for his buddies. It's like, there's no way they would do that. They'd rather die than betray us.
I don't know if that's... the thing is, I believe that Law thinks that, but as a reader, I have no reason to believe him. Because I don't know these guys, like, at all. Frankly, those guys seem pretty flippant and pretty, like, like ordinary dudes.
All right. This reminds me of like what was it called? Ice Shield 21.
About one of my favorite manga of all time.
I feel like the two guys in Law's crew who are like nondescript nobody, sort of just guys, are secretly like, I mean, in this situation where they could be tortured, they're the sort of cool, they're the sort of characters who you would never expect to be so badass to resist torture to honor their word and their captain. And I feel like that moment in Ice Shield 21 where those three like
the Ha brothers.
Yeah, that they started out like not really giving a shit and being like lazy and they don't care, but that one time when like they pushed like the bus or something.
Yeah, like, they pushed across Las Vegas or across America or something.
Yeah,
across
it's
Nevada.
Just, like they bonded with the team, and it was like they became so cool, even though the three of them were sort of nondescript looking characters compared to everyone else.
That was like a whole thing with their character in that series, that like they really were just I mean, they actually started as bullies to the main character Sena, and they joined the crew. I think they were blackmailed, like tons of people were blackmailed into joining the team by Hiruma, the quarterback, the demon man. And then they like developed personality, and really one of them, like the guy with the scar, more than the other two, developed like more character. But even as a unit, they were like the line, they were like the linebackers or whatever. They developed character and they became more endeared to us just because like, as characters, you see, that was the great thing about something like Ice Shield 21, it's a good contrast to One Piece. Because one of the issues with One Piece is that the cast is continually expanding, and it really has trouble like fitting in everything and all the characters happening. Ice Shield 21 is different because it had a relatively limited cast to begin with of like the football team, and not too many characters got added as the series went on. But a lot of them weren't particularly well developed at the start, and so it really took its time we have our set cast of characters, and we get to explore them as we go. And the One Piece crews are a little bit like that, especially with somebody like Robin, whose backstory we fleshed out later, but it's just that like now like that's kind of all done. So we need like outside characters to do that with.
But I feel like all it would need for this particular moment is really for just them to go to rescue them, like Beppo and Penguin and whatever the third guy is. Yeah. And then for them to have not said anything. And
that would immediately make me like them for the first time in the series, if it was something like that. And you know what? Maybe that's what it's building to, and I really hope we get something like that. Maybe Law himself will go like break them out as like a solo mission. That'd make me like Law more. That'd be pretty cool. See him doing cool stuff.
He looks like he's about to go off on his own. Like once we save them, you'll believe he's walking out the door.
It does look like it. I'm actually kind of interested to see where that goes. We just want anything with those characters because they've got basically nothing. By the way, I just want to shout out everyone. If you're waiting for One Piece chapters, there's a lot of good manga out there. I would recommend. I haven't read it in probably over 10 years, but it was great, and I want to go back and reread it. You read Ice Shield 21. If you like shonen, you will like it. It's really good.
It's the best sports manga I've ever read
of all time, and I've read quite a few. Oh, I love it. Oh, and shout out, when you said like characters in the background, there's one character on their football team. I know we're going on a tangent, but fuck you can deal with it. There's
the guy who sucked for like the longest time.
There was that guy who was he was a year above everybody else, and he was terrible, but he developed like one very specific skill. Not even that guy, who was interesting and had one really cool moment, but there was another guy. Remember the guy he was on the track team? His name was like Ishidoro. His name like meant like fade into the background or something. Like because everyone gets basically football superpowers in the game, and it was fucking sick. And Sena, obviously main character, super speed and uses that for various stuff. But there was one guy, Ishidoro or whatever his name was, whose special skill was that because he was a background character who like extremely rarely did anything. His power was that like people just forgot about him, which made him a really effective receiver because like no one was paying any attention to him.
Oh,
and
to
use
I vaguely remember that, but
that's perfect. You vaguely remember. That's exactly how it should be. Oh, okay. Go read it while you're waiting, people, for another One Piece chapter.
I want to fucking reread the whole of that.
Me too.
It was a great time.
Not to mention the legendary chapters specifically talking about black people's muscles. This is a big theme in Ice Shield 21, unironically.
They're just so much stronger.
They're just better and faster, and that literally there's like an arc about how fucking Sena's Japanese genes just can't compete with fucking Panther's amazing African American genes, and he's so good, and He's faster than this. Okay, you know what? It is hilarious, and honestly, it's all very in good spirits. So don't judge too harshly. It's a lot of fun, and Panther is one of the best characters anyway. Okay, but anyway, let's move along. Now that our race realism is past, let's talk about some Japanese dudes.
Is getting really distressed about this whole thing.
Yep.
We've been waiting 20 years for this opportunity. If we fail now, we'll never have another chance. She doesn't want Law to go and rescue his traitorous friends.
Understandably, she's very, like, she's been waiting 20 years. She's not a fucking, like, hacker time traveler. She's been here waiting for 20 fucking years. So yeah, she does not want this opportunity blown by a bunch of fuck-ups, blowing this. But then Kanjuro comes in and makes a decent point that, like, it's a miracle we even have allies at all here. So, don't be too judgmental here. Fucking, what's her face? This, by the way, is the most I've liked Kanjuro since he drew that hilarious, pathetic dragon that carried them up Zoe's leg, if you remember back then. These are the only 2 moments I've ever been impressed by Kanjuro at all. But,
Kanjuro is, like, he's okay, but he hasn't really had a time to do a single thing.
Well, that's the thing. You need your characters to do a thing for us to like them in a shonen setting, you know? So Shinobu's done some things. She's done some ninja stuff, and I like her.
Funny jokes.
Yeah, I'm endeared to Shinobu now, and Kanjuro. Yeah, I mean he's doing some stuff. I hope he gets like a fight or something because he's got a weird fighting style. That'd be cool to see. But anyway, next page. Who's this knocking at the door? We see a man gallivanting in the door with a big smile on his face, just saying, "You guys sure are loud. Here I come in your house." Immediately calls Nami a god.
I think they're in his house, aren't they? Because this is
no, you're right. I forgot. This is like the base he said they could use. That's true. That's true. So he compliments Nami, says she looks beautiful. That's a good way to endear himself to the group. He recognizes Shinobu and Kanjuro and immediately pulls out the little paper and says with a big smile, "Hey, I've heard rumors about this rebellion and shit. Is it time for the final battle?" And what could this be implying about this character? I'm thinking this is lending credence to your theory, dude, that this is a samurai kind of guy. I mean, again, we don't know. Maybe he literally is just on board for the rebellion, but I think he's going to be one of the samurai guys. That's what I think.
He could be. Because, like, the guy I was thinking could be with the size, his possibility is nothing. And then this guy could be the guy. I mean, we don't know. I just want to point out that he is the only person so far to have recognized Shinobu without like saying, "Oh wait, no, that you can't be Shinobu. You're fat." Like that was just like a nice moment. Like he's a gentleman, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's no one to judge. Look at his big old mug.
He's just sort of like
a cheery guy.
It's just a nice way to like add some niceness to him.
Plus, that joke's gotten old, so I'm happy all around.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, he knows about the rebellion. Maybe he has the ankle tattoo. Maybe he's a really strong guy. I don't know.
Oh, we'll see.
Ooh, the mystery.
I cannot wait. I think we'll learn more about him very, very soon. But now we cut to Ringo, Apple Country, to the Northern Cemetery, where Zoro has awoken to find himself in the company of some fine dames.
Yes, it's definitely Komurasaki.
It's gotta be her, right? I mean,
she's very beautiful with lots of eyelashes. The mouth shape looks ever so slightly different, but I think it's just that he drew her slightly different for this.
I mean, she's still got those DSL. She's got the biggest dick-sucking lips in the entire series, except for Kami, who is a kissing fish mermaid. So, you know how it is.
Yes, I do.
By the way, I just want to say that this one panel of potentially Komurasaki, I just heard some people recently, it was on A, were just being like, I think One Piece females look shitty and ugly. I'm just like, look how pretty she looks. I think this looks great. I don't know what these people are talking about.
They're probably talking about the body shape rather than the face.
I mean, yeah, they look silly, and they look like weird, freakish Barbie dolls sometimes.
I mean,
but
when they're wearing a kimono like this, or whatever this is, doesn't look that weird.
Oh, she looks great. I think she looks great. But anyway, Zoro wakes up, he's thrashing around, and she's like, hey,
quick
relax.
Aside, for any art people out there, I really like the way Komurasaki's hands are drawn, and the way Zoro's foot is drawn on the panel to the right.
Yeah? How's that?
I don't know, it's just something, like, really effortless about the way the shape is, like, put together, and even though it's sort of scratchy and wobbly on the hand, at least. So, like, yeah, that's... I don't know, I like it.
I mean, in that hand, I see her, like, holding a pole, and I'm just like, what if that hand was my dick, bro? So I like it, but that's all I have to say.
Yes.
I see Zoro's foot. What if that foot was on my dick, bro? Zoro foot jobs. That's all there is to say about that.
Oh, we have fun here.
Oh, we have so much fun. I'm just saying that, like, the arch of the foot was built to hold cock. That's all I'm saying. But okay, moving on.
Oh, yeah, yes.
This is
so
undisputed.
Otoko here, jumping around, saying, laughing and stuff.
Being adorable,
and Zoro,
as always.
He's waking up already from the big wound. And Komurasaki is healing him, saying, don't move, you'll die. You know,
Indeed.
Classic stuff. And he wants to go out, and she pulls on his arm to say, no, you should rest. But it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't really mean to pull the wound arm. Whoops.
You dumb bitch. By the way, I just want to say, I went back. As this is happening at Zoro's face, this is his nut face. You can see with his in sheer agony, a.k.a. ecstasy, because he's a masochist. This whole time, Otoko is laughing the entire time. And I went back to check last chapter. While Zoro is being stabbed, she is still laughing at that very moment. And after he has slashed his enemy, she's still laughing at that moment as well. She's just a broken human being, and I love it. Oh, she's the best. Oh, by the way, I just want to point out that I didn't notice this. Zoro has 2 of his swords, so he's only missing 1. At first, I thought that the guy had taken all 3, but no, he's got 2. He's just missing the 1 sword.
Yeah, that's interesting. How, like, he's a sword stealer, but he only stole, like, the guy who lost his sword.
Yep.
So, like, the guy who was beaten, he took his scythe. But he left Zoro alone, so I guess that's like honoring the winner of the match.
You know, that's good point. That's a good point. I would think that that probably is something to do with that. And incidentally, we didn't talk about this much, but as we saw Gyukimaru walking away, like, he seems pretty smug, and it's worth asking, like, what was his intentions by not taking Zoro's swords, and because, like, he was fighting Zoro, so, like, why did he stop? I mean, whatever. He could have killed him while he was down. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy to do that. But, like, he seemed like he was really thinking something deeply as Zoro fell into unconsciousness. So, most likely what? Like, he saw his black blades and was like, ooh, this man, he has proven himself.
I think that's the thing. Yeah. It's just like, I'm not going to give the sword back, but hey, you don't deserve to be stabbed in the back. I'm just going to leave you be.
Sounds legit.
Then there's the thing, like, Otoko says, you'll be healed in no time. I bought some toad oil.
Who do we know who sells toad oil?
It'll heal instantly. Even sharp sword wounds will disappear. This is the thing that Usopp was, peddling.
Indeed.
Is this really like a miracle cure, or is it not going to do much?
I mean, we thought that Usopp, who is he's a liar and all that stuff, was probably, finessing people and was being like a fake, snake oil salesman, only toad, as they say. So probably he doesn't do it. I think this is a joke. I think that's what they're building to. But maybe it will legitimately help him heal. I mean, I don't know. I would have thought up to this point that it was a pure joke. That's my inclination, but I think she's just being a dunce. But maybe that's not true. Although I wonder if he says that they stole it. Did they actually steal it, or what?
Otoko stole it. Like, she's a little scamp, and she grabbed a bottle
little brat.
Of it,
Although, by the way, I'm thinking back to that scene, right? And like, so we saw, if I remember correctly, we saw Usopp like either pretend or actually slice himself. And then, like, he used the toad oil to, quote-unquote, heal it. I mean, I assumed that was a joke, but if I went back at that, we would probably be able to tell if, like, it was even possible to fake it or not. Like, maybe he really did cut himself. Although, again, Usopp does not seem like the kind of guy who would cut himself for a demonstration, just to, like, heal it, because he's a big whiny baby.
It's strange, like the idea that he's found, or what, toad oil is just, like, actually a miracle cure for
how would he have done that?
Slashes.
Yeah.
Like, the idea that Usopp is just like, I found a guy and I made this really helpful thing for the rebellion. Mm-hmm. But it's not really been mentioned really at all. So
I'm gonna assume. I
it's
just got to assume it's a joke. It's like it's a fake thing. I don't know, man.
So we learn after that a little bit about Gyukimaru, the troll who lives nearby the bridge, and he says, "You shall not pass. You cannot come across the bridge."
He's a warrior monk. That's racist. Call him a troll. That's fucked up, dude.
Oh, I was just, like he guards the bridge like a troll would.
Don't they sit under the bridge, trolls? He was on top of the bridge, you see.
He commutes.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. By the way, I just want to say, Otoko. Sorry, not Otoko. Fucking Japanese names. Komurasaki. Right. Okay. Who we think this is. Now that she's like not being like a bitch, and like in this one panel here and then at the panel on the bottom, she just looks so pretty and so nice, and like she's like really softened her image. And while I love a boss ass bitch who gets her money the way Komurasaki does and punches poor people just to watch them bleed, that's funny, and I'm way into all of that. But it's also just she's so soft and nice now, and I like this. This appeases my male oppressive sensibilities, and I'm quite fond of it. That's all I have to say.
All I have to say about the panel that you're talking about is the fact that Toko does the whole like, my name's Toko. If you put an O in front of the name, it's Otoko. I'm not a boy though. And Zoro like, that's funny, right? And Zoro's like, no.
And then
I was expecting on the next next panel she would be frowning for the first time.
Oh, I would have liked to see that. We see that little like exclamation points in a box. So if it was animated, we might see her like react. I think we have seen her frown before though. Like, at least I think so. Like when she was like.
So. I think the joke is even when she's sad or anything, it's just that her mouth is the same shape. It's just her eyes change a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay, maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember seeing it, so okay, never mind. But anyway, so Komurasaki just observes, like, Mr. Zoro, sir, you don't seem like you're from this land, but you seem like a good person. You're slipping a joke in there, who cares, whatever. But I am searching for my older brother. I haven't seen him in 20 years. But he might actually be in Wano right now, and his name is Kozuki Momonosuke, and I'm his younger sister, Hiyori. Oh my god, we found her.
Oh my god.
So, I mean,
who was it? Was it me? I think maybe both of us who, guessed that Komurasaki would be Hiyori.
We guessed it, like, we as we always do, we were hedging our bets and being like, okay, it's not confirmed, but, like, genre savviness tells us Komurasaki is definitely the way they structure the panels and like cut back and forth between like, one day I'll find my sister, cut to Komurasaki, and it's like, we can read the sign. So I think we were both pretty on the up and up with that shit.
What do you think about the idea that Komurasaki actually has a soft side and she can be normal?
Well, this is okay. So there's a couple things going on. So we do not literally know that this person is in fact Komurasaki. Like, they must be, and there's basically no way it's not. So okay, we'll put that aside. So it leads a couple options. One, that right now is some sort of act, or her other Komurasaki side is some sort of act, or she really has. I mean, she could theoretically have some kind of split personality. I suppose that's potentially possible as well. I would say most likely for me, again, genre savviness tells me she has been pretending to be but they say she's a prostitute. Has she taken the dick or not? She must have, right? She must be an actual prostitute for people to talk about her in that way.
Well, they won't confirm that in One Piece.
But like, she had suitors that she like would meet up with and like hang out with. They must have gotten that dick wet, right? I mean, I would think so.
Birthday suitors.
I'm just wondering, how much dick has this princess taken? That's what I want to know, for research purposes exclusively. I don't know.
All you need to go is go to www.duodojinshi.one.
This is actually great doujin fodder, and I cannot wait to read them extensively. Just like the Rebecca being like basically effectively a slave in a gladiator samurai. Plus there was that one moment where Luffy really pressed up on her boobs and whatnot. Oh, that was lewd. If you know what I'm saying. Well, okay, he pinned her down in her extremely scantily clad like armor, and it was extremely sexual. Especially, dude, the anime made it like 10 times more sexual. She's like, her breasts are like heaving as she's like pinned down by Luffy. God damn, that was a sexual scene. What the fuck? This is a children's anime, my guys.
Yeah, they seem to like increase the bust size in the anime a little bit. Like,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Know, just sort of, you know.
Just a little bit. They just bumped that character creator slider up a couple of notches in the boob size. But anyway, okay, none of that matters. I don't care if she was a prostitute, whatever. I mean, it is funny. Haha, epic joke. But yeah. I suspect that she has been a prostitute for a while, and she is the princess. This was her cover. But again, it's like, so Kyoshiro has been taking care of her, right? And so it leads us to wonder that maybe this was all a facade, that Kyoshiro like helped spread her reputation as a, you know, as a courtesan.
Yeah,
or
maybe
whatever.
this is it was the easiest and best way he could protect her, is
hide her in plain sight or something like that, man.
Not hide her in plain sight necessarily, but like the you know, if she's really valuable, she less likely to be, like, it would look weird for him as swordsman to be protecting just some random girl. You know, if she's a high-profile person, then, she has a bodyguard, and it makes sense.
I mean, the only thing with that is, like, I suspect there's something more going on, just that she's been working as, because, like, if Kyoshiro, as I suspect, really is a member of the Resistance, excuse me, and is, like, helping our dudes, then, like, it's kind of weird that they would literally whore out their princess, that they're, like, trying to, and again, no disrespect to whores, you do you. It's just that, like with a prince, you'd think that you wouldn't want to do that with a princess, because, like, you know, just doesn't seem like something they'd opt into. So I suspect we'll get a twist that, like, no, she was actually, she did not do the sex. She was a very, you know, this was all, like, hyped up, that she was, like, the best, and she was just very polite. It's
already sort of, like, implied that she just cheats people out of money anyway.
But yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but, like, I mean, the way that it seemed to me at first, when we first met her, was like, you know, but she's effectively, like, she's so good at charming men. And again, this wasn't like in one day she charms them, like before they get their money's worth. It's like they keep coming back day after day after day, month after month after month, year after year, like, because she's so charming. And, like, they're going to want to get something for their money, you know? She is a fucking prostitute. So, again, none of this is all fine. I don't care. It just strikes me as odd that you would do that with a princess. That's it. That's all I got to say. Yeah. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see if that's
you know,
true
you gotta, if you're gonna live in the same city as the guy who destroyed your whole family, you may as well, you know, you're gonna have to
but that's the
survive
weird thing.
In some way.
I mean, sure, but, like, isn't it weird though that, like, if she, whatever, we just assume this is her. So, like, it's pretty weird that she would, like, become a prostitute, like, waiting on and, like, snuggling up with Orochi, who killed her father.
No, that makes a lot of sense, because that makes it so that she can get close to him and, you know, stab him, or, like, get intel. Like, if she is in the Resistance, I assume she is.
I mean, I suppose, but, like, let's not forget.
If there's like things she's like, in 20 years... You know, there's a prophet, like Mom said, they're gonna come back. Maybe she even knows about, like, the time fruit ability.
Right. But I mean, let's say that's true. Let's not forget that she was willing to blow everything for the sake of Otoko. And, like, okay, like, I get it. Maybe protecting one life is more important than the entire rebellion. Like, it's like the trolley problem. Do you let one person die or do you kill one person to, like, save a million more? I mean, I don't know. Like, I get it's complicated, but she did throw all that away. And she didn't appear to make any moves like she was assassinating him. Maybe she was going to, but it got derailed by Otoko blowing the whole thing by laughing. That's probably what happened, I would think. It's just that she really threw that away pretty easily. Just saying. Yeah. And she had 20 years to do. Oh, okay. She probably didn't meet him 20 years ago, but...
Yeah, she would have been younger then.
I mean, maybe Orochi's into that kind of thing.
Maybe she's only recently become of age where she could do stuff like this.
I mean, yeah, probably. Then again, I mean, frankly, this girl's got to be what? I mean, so her older brother was Momonosuke. I think she was like 8 before, so she's like 28. All I'm saying is, a 28-year-old, what is she, a geisha or whatever? That's getting on the older side for ancient Japan, my dude. You hit 14,
how much
16.
Younger was she? She could be 25.
She could be 25.
Oh yeah, I guess
even 20 is old and busted.
Geisha, yeah.
I mean, don't forget the term Christmas cake, people. Anything, this is a Japanese saying, if you're a Christmas cake, it's anything past 25, or if you have a Christmas cake and it's past the 25th of December, aka Christmas, you throw it away because you don't want it. And they apply that to like age of women. If you're a Christmas cake, you're past 25, into the trash you go, literally unmarriable. They go hard in the motherfucking paint. Anyway.
Well,
that's all.
That's the end of the chapter. Oh, wait, no, there's one more page.
Oh, that's true. And this is pretty cool.
The big old map showing where everybody is currently.
And this is pretty dope. And you got fucking Zoro over here being like, each of them wandering off on their own. I would never do that. Oh, wait, I forgot. God damn it. On Ringo, right here, you can see Zoro, Otoko, and Komurasaki clearly labeled in the same location right now. So why did we even speculate? I literally looked at this and made a mental note to say it, and I just forgot and wasted everybody's fucking time. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
That is kind of a weird thing to, like, accidentally... Like, that's not, like, in story... reveal.
You know what
we still haven't like officially revealed that it's Komurasaki.
I mean, that is true.
Slightly different,
and it's almost. I mean, the way that it's written,
the lips look slightly different, probably just because she was wearing lipstick.
I mean, maybe, so, and like I don't know.
Definitely the same person.
I mean, it definitely like it's the eye shape. I think changed a little bit, but it's just to like show her like softer features now. Now that she's like not, I would say, I'm guessing, putting on an act or anything anymore. But like my guess is this thing was put together by an editor. As opposed to like Oda himself, like because you know this is within like an editorial frame, and even if Oda's writing the story as if he like wouldn't necessarily want this confirmed, which he probably doesn't, just based on the way the narrative seems to be leaning, I'm guessing that the editor's just like, oh, let's do a fun thing where we put the map, which I do love, but does happen to like I would have labeled her as just, you know, like literally change nothing about this. Just label her as Hiyori and have like the picture from this chapter and put this. Like just do that, and you've preserved the mystery. We can continue to wonder about Komurasaki.
Yeah, why didn't they do that?
I mean, maybe they straight up think that characters would just know this by now. I don't know. It's kind of strange, a little odd. Maybe they just are thinking that it's super obvious, even though the narrative doesn't seem to imply that in the, you know, in the fucking pages of the thing. They're just like, well, I mean, everyone knows that's Komurasaki. And the fact that, like, you know, Kyoshiro and whatnot are, like, talking about her death and her wake, like, we're supposed to know 100% that that's obviously, you know, not real anymore, which, I mean, we do because we're savvy and we get it, but, you know, could be twins, could be twins.
So, oh, yeah, all right, I'm looking at the thing now, the map. Hakumai, apparently, is where Beppo, Sachi, and Penguin are captured.
Seems to be.
Which is a place we haven't been yet.
You know what? Actually, hang on one sec. The way that I was thinking that same thing, but if you look at it, like, if you look to the left, you see Udon, and Udon has like it's a big block labeling just that area, and like Hakumai, that appears to be the thing that labels just the entire region as Hakumai.
Oh, you're right.
So I think it doesn't actually.
It doesn't have the dotted line leading.
Yeah. So I think we don't know exactly where they're being held prisoner. They're probably on their way to the prisoner mines, though. I would assume, but who knows?
You know, I'm not sure. Because I feel maybe the prisoner mines. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but like. The prisoner mines feels like a Kaido-specific prison.
Yeah,
and maybe the Shogun has a different prison for other people.
I suppose it's possible.
Like rebellion stuff.
But I mean, fucking Hyogoro would be... I mean, he seems like a... Well, I don't know. It's all mixed up. Could
but if they do go there, then the next thing that's going to happen is that there's going to be... You know, Luffy's going to be fighting Queen... Big Mom is going to arrive with Okiku, Otama, Chopper, and Momonosuke, and Beppo, Sachi, and Penguin are going to be there, and probably at the same time, all that goes down, Kawamatsu, the samurai, will be freed.
Yes, that's I would say that's extremely likely.
And then, who knows what could fucking happen after that? I don't know what... There's just so many people and so many stuff. And on this, there's not even labeled all the other people we expected to be here, like the other you know, like Kid and Kid's pirates.
Oh yes, not shown because they're in a mystery location. I would think. Yeah, we haven't. The rest of his crew is a total mystery. Where's Killer? Where's Killer right now? And the rest of his lads. Who knows? Who knows? Hopefully they escaped. Maybe it was like a dramatic thing where like when Kaido crashed on their base, they did a thing where like Kid stayed to like fight them off and everybody else managed to escape. Because don't forget, I mean, Basil Hawkins was there and Scratchman Apu was there at that very moment. So where the fuck's Apu? Where is Apu? Maybe with, you know, the rest of Kid's crew. So that could be cool. I love Scratchman Apu and I really want to see more with him. So, and I think we probably will this arc since he's a Kaido boy. But we'll see. We'll see.
So, alright, the places Ebisu Town's there. We haven't seen... Have we seen anywhere in Kibi yet?
Kibi,
at the top.
I don't think so. I don't think... It doesn't look like... So I see a little town there, but I don't know what that is, so...
So, like, Hakumai hasn't been explored that much. There's Ebisu Town, but then there's Kibi, which has nothing necessarily. Mm-hmm. So that's probably where Kid is, I'm thinking.
Yeah, probably.
Like where Apu's hiding out or stuff like that.
I mean, maybe he's on the tip-top of Mount Fuji up there. I don't know.
And then there's, like, Nekomamushi, who's, like, currently... Well, last time
he was off getting Marco.
Yeah, he was off getting Marco and stuff.
He'll probably show... I mean, he's got to show up, but...
Didn't they say, like, the Whitebeard pirates are hiding in Wano? Or am I imagining
No, they didn't say they were in Wano. I forget exactly what they said. Marco said that he couldn't leave, I remember. But, yeah, I mean...
Nekomamushi is gonna arrive with at least some of the Whitebeard pirates at some point as well.
Well, I mean, maybe that might be true. I'd have to go back and double-check, but, like, my recollection was that the implication was that, like I can't come with you, me, Marco, and most of our crew, like, is, you know, in hiding or otherwise occupied. So I think it's not crazy to think that Nekomamushi could arrive with some. People in the comments, please confirm this for us if that's true and if you remember. But I would say I'm leaning towards, like, they get few, if anybody. But, you know, we'll see when that...
It would be kind of lame if you just arrived like, sorry guys, I couldn't find anyone.
Dramatically, yes, that would be lame. So maybe that can be a way for... Maybe Marco, you know, reading that arc, I feel like Marco, he was definitive that, like, I can't leave this place, I need to protect it. But, like, let's not forget that he was literally doing, like, basically nothing important there. So, like, maybe he could be convinced to leave, and, like, Nekomamushi could, like, manage to get him to change his mind, and then they'd get a whole bunch of Whitebeard pirates, and, it could be a whole big, like, at the end of Lord of the Rings, the third movie, when, like, I forget who, I think Aragorn or whatever, like, they bring, like, the whole army of the dead, shows up at the very end to, like, save them from the hordes of the bad boys. So maybe it'll be a moment like that, or like in the, whatever, 2 seasons ago or whatever in Game of Thrones, when Jon's about to fucking die against Ramsay's horde or whatever, but then at the last moment, the Knights of the Vale show up with Littlefinger, and they save him from death. Spoilers. I mean, whatever, who cares? So, yeah, I don't know. Definitely something that could happen. And Nekomamushi will 100% show up, and I think it's pretty likely that he's got some boys with him in tow. So the way that pans out, we'll have to see. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to point out that I was looking down at the Big Mom Pirates little label down there, and it says, I looked through the little list of names. Notably, it says Prospero, Daifuku, Galette. So Big Mom is with, you know, Momonosuke and those guys over on the other side of the place. But it lists a bunch of Big Mom Pirates on the crew. It does not say specifically Katakuri. However, it does say various other siblings. So I'm just saying Katakuri could be on board. Our boy, our hero, main character of One Piece, in a literal way, not the Jinbei meme way. This is real. So he may or may not be there. I'd say probably not the way that that's written, because you'd think he'd be front and center. So cover arc with Katakuri when? Please, literally now. I'm ready for the Katakuri cover arc where he leaves the Big Mom Pirates or something.
The Big Pie Pirates.
The big lad pirates. Oh, and also, Jinbei is not stated to be on the Big Mom Pirates ship, but again, he could be. They could just leave him off, because it could be a mystery or something, and people think that if Jinbei's going to show up in this arc, like, we would think most likely it would be with the Big Mom Pirates. Although I guess he could have escaped, you know, somehow with his lads underwater, or...
Man, I don't know.
Who knows?
Anything could happen with the Fishmans at this point.
That's true.
But they're a perfect come-out-of-nowhere, save-the-day sort of crew. At this point.
They are. They definitely are. So they could show up anytime.
Just pop up pop up at what's it called? Onigashima.
Yeah.
Onigashima's.
Yeah. Or fucking, like Kaido has killed all of Luffy's crew, and Luffy, on shaky legs, is standing there quivering as Kaido is about to strike him down as well. And all of a sudden, our hero, main character, Jinbei, shows up, and boom, one-shots Kaido with this magic fishman punch, and anally devastates him. It immediately becomes crowned the Yonko above Yonko. And everyone, Luffy falls to his knees and begins sucking his fish cock instantly at the godhood level that Jinbei is at. I think that's what we all really need to see.
I like the sort of the way you said, like, very, like, quickly and, like, moved on to the next thing, like, and then anally devastates him, and then, like, just like, oh. Just like a little side note, anally devastates him, and then immediately becomes crowned. Like,
yeah, that's true. It was a side note. It was the real, like, defeating Kaido. Sorry, is just another day for Jinbei. But getting crowned. Now that's some pomp and circumstance that Jinbei deserves as a character for sure. And so we'll have to see. We'll have to see when he shows up and saves the day for everybody. I'm looking forward to it. So,
hey, final question. Are fishmen minks?
No, they are legally distinct. Although, okay, here's a question: can you have a fish mink?
If a cat fucked a fishman?
Yes.
Like Romeo and Juliet, like the families hate each other. Cats don't like water.
Right.
They make a catfish fishman mink.
Oh. That would be horrible.
Like, what would it do?
Oh God, I don't know. I can only speculate. So fishmen and mermaids, we know they can interbreed. We know that they can interbreed, and like their children will be either fishmen or mermaids. What's the deal with minks though? Like, I assume
animals.
They just breed and that just whatever comes out, like some animal. I don't know.
Just fucking one of the animals.
Yeah, just one. I mean, because they with the fishmen, they talk about how, like, they discuss this in Fishman Island, that, like, whether you're a mermaid or a fishman, like, whoever your ancestor, like, if you're a fishman or whatever, and you reproduce, then it's, like, whatever fish was in your genetic lineage, like, all those fish types, you can manifest as in your children. So, like, and they literally say, like, as an ancestor. Like, if you had, like, a goldfish as an ancestor, incidentally, Lady Otohime, she was a goldfish mermaid, incidentally, for people who forget that. So, like, that means she literally had an ancestor who was a goldfish long ago. And what a brainiac that was, I'm sure. Goldfish are dumb. That's the joke. They have very little recollection. That is my epic meme. That's it. Good. So I'm assuming minks are the same. Done. There you go. Done. End of conversation, end of story. And by the way, One Piece will be on break next week, so no chapter next week. You just gotta go read Eyeshield 21 in the meantime.
Yeah,
go read Eyeshield. It's a great story, fantastic artwork, and I'll sell you fucking Zoomers on it by saying he's the guy, Murata, is the same guy who does art for One Punch Man manga and the anime. Oh my god, it's like good. So now you've got your connection. Yeah, yep, he's the guy who does One Punch Man now.
Wow.
He's dope. I follow him on Twitter. He is a delight to follow. He tweets a bunch of Japanese shit. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but he drew a great picture of Gwen from Spider-Gwen from Enter the Spider-Verse the other day that was very adorable. Actually, he's been retweeting a bunch of like shit about, like, you can tell he just watched Spider-Verse and he's just like getting way into it. It's fun to follow mangaka. It's very fun because like you don't get any other window into their lives because they just release their manga and shit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Does Oda have a Twitter account?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oda is, I don't know. Man, what's, like, Oda, finish One Piece one day and just, like, come out.
Start a Let's Play channel.
Like Jack Black did. Man, I don't know. It's almost weird how secretive, I guess, frankly, a lot of mangakas, I guess, are like that. But, I mean, maybe because we're both internet people.
It's the nature of, like, creative people, and especially Japanese creative people. It's just like, oh, no, I just do what I do.
Imagine, like, being Oda.
Humble and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's all fair. And, you don't want to distract from the work and stuff with your dumb, I don't know, face and political opinions or, I don't know, any of that fucking bullshit. We just want the work. So imagine being Oda and like, you know, you got kids. He's got kids now and he's got a wife. Imagine just like going to like the theme park and just like walking around. Maybe you go to like the fucking One Piece park and it's just like you're with your kid and your wife and I'm just like, look what I made. Look at all this shit. That's like product of my brain. It's got to be amazing to feel like that much influence over the world. Like it swept the world, One Piece. It's so huge. I don't know, man. It's just cool. It's just, I'm not even like, I don't know, not even like jealous. It's just like, it must be interesting to just think about how, of all the billions and trillions of people who have ever lived, I personally have just made a disproportionately huge effect on the world with my work. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could imagine it feels definitely would feel a lot different from like being a famous movie star or a musician, because people know your face, and follow you around, and he's just like, these people don't follow me, they follow my boys, my characters.
Indeed. Fascinating. Epic. Fascinating. Well, all right. Get ready for more intellectual musings in 2 weeks.
Go to the Poddy Discord and talk about other manga in there. Us. People always talking about something.
Indeed.
Berserk, I've seen.
Talk about iShield 21. I challenge you.
Yeah. Everyone in the Discord, talk about iShield 21. Read it and then spoil each other for it, and then it's great. And you should.
No, only post. Well, okay. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's up to you. I can't legislate
people will
that.
Spoil each other. That's just gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true.
They have conversations where they talk about certain manga things and they post images to explain what they're talking about.
Indeed.
And if you don't know what the conversation is, you'll see
just
a panel and you're like, oh no.
And by the way, do not watch the fucking anime. I have not watched it, but it first of all, it doesn't cover the whole story, and it's shitty. That's its reputation.
Oh, yeah. The anime is not One Punch Man level.
No, do not watch the fucking anime. Read the manga. You're a One Piece fan if you're listening to this, so you're a manga boy. You're ready to go. Get in there, my dude. Get in there. All right, patreon.com/thepod. Wait, yes, patreon.com/thepodcastpirates. That's our Patreon link. Join our crew by giving us money. Why not go for like $100 this month? Just go crazy, you know, just go for it.
Yeah, just treat us.
Just treat us to your money. I'd really appreciate that. Join the Poddy Discord, as you said. Be a non-filthy white free boy. Be a colored crew member like us. And I guess that's it. I guess that's all. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a wonderful day. Good chapter. Looking forward to more. Keep it up, Zoro.
Yep.
Don't give it up, Luffy. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Goodbye.